What is the most you've ever been disappointed by a game?
Have you forgotten your joy?
Of course not. Snug as a bug on a drug.
Hello, I'm Jordan Midler, and on this week's Radge Quit, I'd like to talk about a subject I'm uniquely qualified to commentate on: crippling disappointment. We happy few presumably refers to the few people that weren't duped by the considerable hype of this impoverished man's Bioshock. Of course, it's not the impoverished man's Bioshock, it's not even the poor man's Bioshock, because you can get the collection for less than the price of a West End pint, and they want £50 for this pile of Austin Powers meets George Orwell shit heap. And we disappointed everyone. Germany won the war, and the UK is utterly shat through a dystopian bin bag. The population have resorted to taking a drug called joy, which allows you to see the country through a strong and stable lens. But when your character stops taking his joy, he starts having memories of the past. Now you may think that has potential, but about 20 picoseconds in, you realise the game is going to be as subtle with this metaphor as a drag queen falling down some stairs. Consider this early sequence when you find your co-workers beating the shit out of a piñata. Now if you didn't guess what's about to happen, then congratulations, you are officially the low bar they are aiming for. I hope you're proud. You play as Arthur E. Hastings, the E presumably standing for enormous ponce, or egregiously dissatisfactory, or everyone that's played this has been utterly disappointed by it, so there's no point getting excited about anything. You might as well stay jaded and disconnect your console and punt it into the reservoir. It's probably that one. You go up to some guy, he tells you something boring to do, you trudge across the brownest field it's possible to imagine, and then get the thing, or kill the guy, or attack someone with the worst combat mechanics it is possible to comprehend. After you've done that, you go back to your very interesting quest giver, and he unlocks the privilege of you seeing the next bit of beige tapestry or half-loaded in painting, unless of course you've been stabbed and mortally wounded, in which case you can patch yourself up with a bit of old dish towel, which I assume works in real life, but I wouldn't know, I'm usually the one doing the stabbing. When did we decide that hunger and sleep were fun game mechanics? Because I personally wasn't invited to that meeting. Also, if we need to eat and drink, why don't I need to piss? Why isn't there an extended sequence where I need to collect leaves off the trees in order to wipe my arse, but I can't get enough because the game's a glitchy mess, so my Michael Caine's emaciated body double has to spend the rest of the game with a shitey arse? But no, it's survival for the sake of survival, meaning the only people with shite left on their hands are the game developers. On some mission I was pointlessly sneaking around looking for some MacGuffin when I seemed to manage to push an NPC through a shitter into the Shadow Realm. I'm almost jealous because at least he got to leave the game. He's freer than me. Appropriately, the mission objective at this time was enter the dump, but I was way ahead of them. I entered it 5 hours ago when I started the game. If you took a shot every time this game glitched out on me, you'd be about as dead as I felt inside after playing it for an hour. Now you may be watching this and thinking, the gameplay does look a bit shite, but the narrative could be interesting. Yeah, could be. Don't worry, it's not. If you scratch about an inch below the surface, you realise it's a bunch of faux creepy nonsense, written by someone that was forced to read George Orwell in 5th year but didn't actually bother. It stops just short of going, "They say keep calm and carry on, but there's no place to keep calm anymore. So why carry on?" Although admittedly I haven't finished the game, so I wouldn't be shocked if that's how it ends, accompanied with a solemn pop cover of Bring Me Sunshine. Somehow the voice actors in this are actually English, but at times it feels like you're stuck in a tourist shop in Trafalgar Square with 100 American drama students reciting the entire works of Dad's Army. If you want to remain one of the wee happy few, don't bother playing the game. Just play Bioshock listening to an audiobook of 1984 read by Dick Van Dyke. What's the most you've ever been disappointed in a game? Comment down below and let me feed off the energy of your disappointment. Also, how the hell did you get over it? Because honestly, it's things like this that just remind me that we are just getting one step closer to the grave every day, and We Happy Few is just a futile reminder of how pointless all of this is. Sorry, maybe I should take my joy. It's a drug reference, love. Get it?